Power Hour at the KISD Career Center. Why are we having Power Hour? Well, sometimes don't you need a little extra time to learn some key content in your class? Power Hour will provide that for you. Sometimes you just need to go get some extra tutoring and you have too many before school and after school activities to do that easily. Power Hour will provide that for you. And then also sometimes it's fun to go participate in clubs, learn things that you might not otherwise be able to, and to participate in your career and technical student organizations. This will provide time for you to do that as well. So how are we going to provide Power Hour at the Career Center? Power Hour is approximately 1 hour during the school day, 12:07 to 1:07, during which students may eat lunch, attend tutoring, go to club meetings, or participate in a number of other activities. It's designed to allow students to make the most out of their lunchtime and receive the extra help they need without having to stay after school. Here's the Career Center bell schedule. The pledges, the moment of silence, and announcements will take place at the beginning of first and fifth period. Career Center PM students will eat lunch on their home campus and then will depart on their bus at 1 p.m. Career Center PM students should begin arriving at the Career Center at approximately 1:17. Some of the available activities that we have planned for you all at this point in time include the list you saw is just a partial list of offerings for the 22-23 school year. This list is subject to change based on teacher schedules and student interest. Be aware that not all activities are open to all students. Students will need to see the teacher for membership requirements of the group or organization. Each day at 12:07 p.m., a bell will ring indicating that Power Hour has started. Power Hour is divided into two 30-minute sessions, Session A from 12:07 to 12:37, and Session B from 12:37 to 1:07. A unique bell will ring at 12:37 p.m. to indicate that the B session has begun, and it is time to move to your next location. Students can eat lunch and participate in clubs or activities or tutoring during these times. Clubs and activities are scheduled for 30-minute sessions, either the A or B session. A bell will ring at 1:07 to indicate the end of Power Hour. At this point, CCAM students will return to their home campus. At approximately 1:17, CCPM students will begin arriving, and fifth period will begin at 1:23. The most current Power Hour schedule of clubs and activities will be posted in many areas, school website, common areas, on our televisions. Students will need to plan ahead with their teachers and sponsors so they are certain of the activities in which they plan to participate each day. Students may also be required to attend tutoring. Teachers will let students know when and where they are required to be for tutoring. Students may only eat in approved areas. If a teacher is absent, the scheduled club or activity may be canceled, and the student will need to report to another activity or go to an approved eating area. There will be no all calls over the intercom during Power Hour. Therefore, any checkouts will need to be communicated prior to Power Hour. Parents will receive notification of this and other information regarding Power Hour. Teachers will keep a record of each student that attends tutoring, meetings, or other functions during Power Hour through the HERO system. Students will be scanned in using their ID card, and the time they enter in the room will be recorded. Students, more information to come about HERO. You will be able to download an app and follow your schedule when you're assigned to specific times in HERO as well. A full lunch will be offered every day from 12:07 to 1:07 p.m. Students may get in line for lunch at any time. Students may get their lunch and then report to their activity. They do not have to remain in the commons to eat. Places students may eat include the commons, the courtyard, classrooms, and designated hallway areas. Examples of places students may not eat include the front lobby foyer, the stairwells, and any outside area besides the courtyard. All students are responsible for cleaning up their trash and placing it in proper receptacles, which will be placed throughout the campus. Students, we will have large trash cans in the hallways. Please make sure to throw your trash away in those trash cans, not in teacher classrooms. It's very important that all students do not attempt to eat school lunch right at the beginning of power hour. The cafeteria lines would be very long. Students should try different times to see when lines are the shortest. For safety reasons, food from delivery companies will not be accepted during school hours. Parents may drop off food for their student only and will be expected to show identification before the food will be accepted. KCC staff members will not contact students during power hour. Therefore, parents should make students aware of food in the front office ahead of time. Once power hour is over, the campus no food or drink policy is in effect. Tutoring during power hour. Tutoring will be offered in all courses from all teachers at a specified time. Tutoring will also be offered for EOC tested subject areas during specified times in the year. Students should check with their teachers and consult the schedule to find out when tutoring is offered. If a student is falling behind in a class or has an assessment to make up, a teacher may require a student to attend tutoring. Additionally, students, we recognize that some of you all may need tutoring in a class that is not offered here at the Career Center. We do have math, science, English, and social studies teachers here, and so if you need additional tutoring help, you would be able to go to one of our teachers to get that help as well. Closed tutoring is for additional time for students to learn key content they didn't learn during initial instruction. This is an opportunity to reteach content in a different way so a student can learn it without missing other initial instruction. If a student is required to attend tutoring, this takes priority over all other activities. Teachers will assign students to tutoring in the HERO application and will inform the students of when and where they are required to be. If a student has been told to be in 2 tutoring sessions at one time, he or she should notify both teachers. The teachers will communicate and give the student an adjusted tutoring schedule. Lunch Club. CCAM and CCAll students that are not getting all of their work done may be assigned by campus administration to Lunch Club to make up their missing assignments. Guys, it's really important to do your work here at the Career Center. Our teachers are giving you important assignments that are going to help you learn and get better at your skills and your knowledge. Make sure you're keeping up with your work. From time to time, class-specific meetings such as senior class meetings may take place during power hour. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies will meet regularly during power hour. Some of these organizations have specific requirements for membership. It's the student's responsibility to find out what is required. Some of these groups, such as honor societies, may have meetings that are required for membership. Students are expected to attend all meetings for their club or organization. If students miss a club or organization meeting due to required tutoring, there will be no penalty or consequences. Students will need to notify their club or organization sponsor about tutoring. Students that have multiple clubs that meet at the same time will need to make a decision about which one to attend. And you may be able to work something out with the teachers to alternate meeting attendance. Electronics during power hour. During power hour, students will be allowed to use cell phones and other electronic devices. Students are permitted to use their electronic devices with personal headphones during power hour in these areas only: commons, other eating locations, and it's up to teacher discretion during clubs and tutoring activities. Just make sure that if you're listening to any type of media that you have your headphone in, remember to keep one ear free so that you can hear us if we're talking to you. Students in violation of the electronics procedure will be subject to disciplinary action. There will be days during the school year when KCC will run a schedule with no power hour. Some examples of these days are the first 5 days of school, weather delays, early release days, testing days, assembly days, and advisory period, which will take place the first Wednesday of every month. During these days, students will report to their assigned activity class during the specified A or B session, which is tied to a student's 4th period class. Some really important things. There will be no power hour for the first week of school, August 15th through the 19th. This means all students will have a 30-minute lunch. Students in the A activity will stay in fourth period for 30 minutes of the allotted time for lunch, while students in the B activity will go to lunch first for 30 minutes and then return to their fourth period class. The first week of school, students will learn about power hour during their activity time. This will include expectations, information on where to eat, information about tutoring, and organizational participation. There will be no power hour on the first Wednesdays of each month. This will be designated as time for advisory lessons, which involve character education. Character education is the process of learning common attitudes, beliefs, behaviors that are important for people to have as responsible citizens. Advisory is a time when teachers act as mentors and facilitate lessons for students on character skills such as grit, empathy, resilience, self-control, mindset, self-awareness, collaboration, and open-mindedness. Let's clarify some terms. Power hour is the 60 minutes allocated in the middle of the day for lunch, clubs, activities, tutoring. When we say we have a power hour day, students have the freedom to choose where they want to spend their time. Activity is something a student participates in, such as a club during power hour. Activity period is either the A session or B session opposite of a student's lunch. For example, all students will remain in their activity period the first week of school to learn the nuts and bolts of power hour and other campus expectations. Advisory is the time designated the first Wednesday of every month for character education opposite of a student's lunch. Power hour is a privilege, not a right. We hope not to have to do this. However, if there's a situation that warrants the removal of power hour, example, for not keeping the school clean, students will report to their activity period before or after their 30-minute lunch. They will lose the privilege of attending clubs and activities. This year, KISD is implementing a closed campus lunch for all students at the high school level. The only students that have an exception to this are seniors that have met a CCMR indicator. These seniors will need to get an parent approval form submitted. For CCAM and CC All students, this parent approval form will go to the front office or Ms. Hines. Seniors, we will meet with you later in the week to discuss more about leaving campus if you've met a CCMR indicator. More information will come later this week about Power Hour and its implementation at the KISD Career Center. Students, take advantage of all the opportunities afforded to you during this time.